Welcome back to Chín Life. Today we have the hilarious and funny Sasha Merci. Come on, let's go to work.
Sister Tiffany, I want to thank you for this beautiful bouquet.
Oh, it's nothing.
You want to come up here and lead us through the program?
I'm super lucky to be joined by Sasha Merci, comedy phenomenon.
Sorry, I'm late. I had to drop the kids off at the pool.
Wait, what?
Huh? Oh, I was late because I had to drop the dudes.
Run that by me again?
Make like Snoop, clap it like it's hot. It was a double flusher. I was like,
Please stop.
guys usually love dirty talks.
You are hilarious. I love your sense of humor.
I love to act, and I like to make people laugh. Heavy flow? Light flow. Sometimes my flow's heavy, sometimes my flow. Oh, what are you doing here?
Sasha, you are a creator. You create some amazing things.
I love creating a world for people.
Hi, everyone. I am here with the talented, well, I'm gonna allow you to introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. I am Sasha Merci. I am an entrepreneur. I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. You know, I think I wear a lot of hats. So I think I'm a hybrid talent. Yeah. What don't I do?
Since you are super funny, I want to tell a funny story. Yesterday, I went to see your show.
Oh,
the
yeah.
show is tonight.
Yeah, you went yesterday tonight. We're talking about tonight show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the show.
Morir Soñando comedy show is created by me and my best friend, Gloria Mora, who we felt like it was just needed in this market, in the comedian world, especially like when you're in California, you don't see a lot of voices like ours being, having a platform.
Yep.
So for us, I thought it was very important to do so. And I just have to give all the credit in the world to Glory, who's like, honestly, when she has her mind into something, she's like a bulldozer and she's like, I'm gonna do it. She was like, we're gonna do a comedy show at the United Palace. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna do it. And we were able to be the first Dominican comedy show at the United Palace. And because of that, it was able to open so many other doors for people, and it makes it easier for other comedians to be like, hey, I'm Dominican, I want to do a show here.
Yeah.
And because at first, I remember we just like put it out there because we were also doing it with New York Comedy Festival.
Yep.
When we first put it out there, it sold out within 2 weeks. And it literally told people who work there, like, hey, there is a market here. And so I think that sometimes people don't see the work that goes behind certain things, certain movements. It's like, oh, why do we have this? And why is it so easy now? And it's like, oh, because there were people before us who's done it for us, like open these doors. So honestly, Morir Soñando is just highlighting local comedy, local talent that I think are funny and have inspired me to be the person that I am today. Like, if you see the history of like how we started, it's just, we just want to continue paying it forward and it be like the Deaf Comedy Jam for bilingual Latinos was really good.
That's right. And for those that speak Spanish, the name needs to be explained.
Oh, yeah.
But also, that's one of my favorite drinks. And I don't know why it's called Morir Soñando, but tell a little bit. What does Morir Soñando? Why the name? And also, right? Describe what it is, right?
Okay, so for non-Spanish speaking people, Morir Soñando, if you translate it, it is die dreaming, right? And it sounds scary, but it is actually named after a drink in the Dominican Republic. Some people make it a little different than others, but it's mostly milk and orange juice. And I know you think it sounds nasty, but some of you out here eating mango ice cream is like the same thing, but just a drink. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So anyway, so Morir Soñando, I think me and Glory, we wanted to do something that is very niche to our culture, but if you really translate it as a universal theme, like you live your dreams or you die trying them, or like you live your dreams or like you die trying to accomplish your dreams, or you live your dreams while you die.
Exactly.
So either way, it's something that I think everyone can relate to. So
Yeah, and I think that the drink is so good, right? That what happens is that it's almost like the best death that you could have. It's almost like you're dreaming, you know?
yeah, you're gonna be in the toilet if you're lactose intolerant. You're gonna be thinking rata ting 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 boom. But it's still like a really great.
Yeah.
It's a really great dessert.
Yep.
Again, it tastes just like mango ice cream. So if you
Right.
like mango ice cream, it's just a drink like that.
But what again it speaks about you as a creator, right? You valuing both of you guys, right? Giving value to culture,
Yeah.
our culture, right?
Yeah.
Latino culture, Dominican culture, and I think that is beautiful. And I see that that in places like New York, that is amazing, right? Like we get it, right? Like what you're doing is giving value. Do you feel like in LA that's similar to New York?
I think in Los Angeles, it's a little more difficult because they're not really familiar with the Caribbean culture
Yep.
in totality,
Right.
right? They know Puerto Rico a little bit because of Jennifer Lopez, and she's been around forever, and the Mark Anthonys of the world and stuff like that. What I do find shocking is what I see in California is I see a lot of people who do speak Spanish and know Romeo Santos, and they know Juan Luis Guerra and all that stuff. And they have no idea when I say, hi, I'm Dominican, but they consume our culture and they don't know. It's very interesting, but there's not many Caribbean Latinos out there. There's not many Dominicans out there.
Right.
So sometimes it's very hard to like express who I am because I am invisible, sort of, out there. So when I moved out there, I remember getting in contact with this kid called Luis Torres, who started Dominicans in Cali. And also he really brought the Dominican community together in a way that like he didn't know it was possible out there. And then because he was able to do that, I was able to throw these parties called El Teteo. And it brought a lot of Caribbeans out, and it brought a lot of people who aren't familiar with the Dominican culture and the Caribbean culture, not only the Dominican culture, but like anything that's Caribbean. They come out and they go, this is like the best party that I've ever been to. It's kind of like the music that I listen to. I'm like, this is where it comes from.
Right.
Which now allows some parties like Apicua to continue to go on in Los Angeles. And my goal was to bring as many creatives from the East Coast to the West Coast. But because geographically it's very hard to like, see one another, and it's very, it can be very cliquish just because geographically what's easier to get to and who people are friends with. I see that there could be some stagnation there, like where people aren't as open as New Yorkers are, where I can have a conversation with you and be like, hey, what are we doing? Like I just landed yesterday and we're already creating stuff,
right.
Because it's also very accessible. Like I'm not that far, and like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I also believe that New York is ready right now for a change. And I'm like, maybe Hollywood should be here, or maybe we should start thinking about ways to really organize how to create together. Because I think in Los Angeles, you have the people who've been the executives for so long and they don't want to give up their seats. And
right.
So sometimes I feel like there is a version of like doing our stories very lazy and then be like, see, we did it, it didn't work.
Yep.
Versus like, I've seen other shows work because of the time and all that stuff that was put into it. But then I see how another show doesn't work because they're not giving it the resources, the time, and the finances. And so it makes it hard for us who are viewers to even connect with our own kind of stories, because you have someone trying to dilute these stories to make it either digestible for them or digestible for nobody. You know what I mean? So
we just need more Latinos.
We just need more Latinos, yeah.
Showrunners, producers, creatives, that are able to have a seat in the table and tell the stories. We're talking about producing before, your talent, and you're also producing.
Yeah.
How's that journey when you are
It's difficult. It's very difficult being a talent producer Because when you're so used to producing your own content for so long, you're used to knowing yourself in a like scientific, mathematical way. Like, this is my angle. This is where I shine the best. I have to say this or repeat this 5,000 times before I take it. And you're like, when you produce yourself, you have all these different rituals that like, when you start working with other people and you're just supposed to be talent, you're just tense because you're like, wait, there is this way that I have written in my mind. And I also feel like I started off doing social media and doing everything on my own.
Right.
That when I started integrating and realizing it's like, you cannot create in a vacuum. Like you need people. You need to be able to trust your
team.
friend, your team. You need to trust your team. And sometimes we have like this hyper independence, but you can't go anywhere without one another. And I think that I learned that little by little, getting off of social media and learning, I'm like, okay, like we have to really come together to be able to make strides in this industry. And so that's why Mori Soñando is so important to me. And the last couple projects that I've been working on, like, have been so instrumental to this shift that is happening within me, where I'm like 10 toes down, where I'm like, this is who I am. I don't care if you like it or not. I think that there was a part of me who wanted to be accepted by this industry,
right,
and kind of forgetting like, this is where I came from, because that's what I was told to do. And I was very naive, like really coming into this industry and believing like, oh, these people have the best interest for me, versus like, no, you're just, you know, marking off a check in their box. You know, they're not interested in helping you grow as a talent or business or anything. But like the last, like I did this play in Philly called La Egoísta, which is produced by a Tony Award-winning production company called Edgewood Entertainment. And the woman who wrote it is Dominican American. You know, I just did a film with Gianfranco, who wrote this film called When Big People Lie, and it's through a lens of a child and from his personal experience in life. He's also a Dominican American writer, and his short was able to make it a Telluride. Like, that's a huge deal. And it just goes to show that it doesn't matter culturally. If the story is good, it is a universal story.
That's right.
And so we should be allowed to, you know, have the resources to tell our stories, and that's what I fight for all the time.
But look, those two projects that you mentioned, what were they? Created by Dominicans. Yeah. And that's how you get to portray and play a part in it. Yeah. Because if not, you wouldn't exist.
Right. I agree.
You know, so we need more writers, we need more producers, we need more people that can make things happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like, you know, I do see this movement that is happening within the Dominican culture. And I think that people see it and they feel like it's like, no, this is just a Dominican thing. And it's just like, this is supposed to inspire other people from different cultures to be like, hey, I also encourage you to look at who you are 10 toes down and be like, this is who I am. This is who I am culturally, and come together with your culture and create, because we can come together in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, for example, you know, how many Italian films have we been inspired by?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You have The Bronx Tale, which is about an Italian American. You have so many Robert De Niro, Al Pacino films, and
we love them.
And we love them, and it's culturally Italian, right? And we don't go, oh my God, it's too Italian. We go, I want to see it. I'm inspired by this. I want to. What are they saying? Like, what is the story? What is their culture? Like, we know what a cannoli is. Like, that's just. It's not to like, when we're doing these projects and people go, it's too Dominican. It's not to exclude people.
Exactly.
It's to like, hey, I want to introduce you to a part of who I am. And this is the only way that I can do it with people that culturally understand who I am. And this is a way for you to be welcomed into a part of society that you're probably not aware of.
Yeah, and not only that, but it makes it rich, right? Because it's like, you know, like you said, they love the music. Yeah. They consume the music.
And that's the thing in Los Angeles, they love to consume our music and a little bit of our culture, but they don't even know who we are.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a part of the story that I'm like, hey, I just want to introduce you to this part of the Latino culture that you might not be aware of.
And not only that, but I think that Hollywood and all stories, right? We have a different perspective. Like the way we tell stories, the way we hug and talk, you know, it's like it's a little different, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's needed, right? Because it brings diversity to stories right now.
Yeah, it is. It brings diversity to perspective. It brings diversity to, like, again, I keep saying culture, community, language.
Yep. Like un ching.
Like un ching. Ajá, un ching, morir soñando.
That's
like,
right.
You know?
That's right.
So.
Well, I want to thank you. Un hug, un abrazo. Thank you for spending time with us on a beautiful, beautiful day in New York City. I am so thankful that you're coming back.
Yeah.
Because we need you. We need you to keep creating, making us laugh.
Yeah.
You know, well, that's what I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you laugh tonight. I promise. I wasn't that funny today because I'm spitting facts, but yes, I love. I would love for you guys to come and have a good time.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, un ching.
Un ching mucho.
All right, bendiciones.